Hey guys, how's it going? So I want to talk a little bit about pectorals, where they're at, what they do, how to know in different ways whether they're tight or, how that shows up. So I'm using Mr. Chester here. Now, Chester, and I'm not sure why, I do notice tight pectorals on Arabians more than a lot of horses. So I don't make a ton of breed characteristics, but I have noticed it more in Arabians. Okay. Chester has a very narrow chest, and sometimes when you're working with horses, their chest is naturally narrow, which his is, and then I don't think it's as narrow as it can get naturally. But sometimes horses' pectorals are so tight that they make the chest look more normal or more narrow than it is. So with Chester, there's a lot of issues going on. He has leg tension, okay, front and back. He has a very narrow chest. He's a very narrow horse. He's a very tall horse, okay. He's so tall, actually, that his legs are so long and his neck is a bit too short that when he grazes, he has a really extreme stance, and it's actually this way, but he only keeps the right front forward and the left back. So when he grazes, he does this. He doesn't do this, which is what most horses do when they graze. If you watch them, they switch. They kind of slowly walk along, but he only does this. Okay. So in the he has high-low because of it. In the summer, it's worse because he eats out more. In the winter, I can get it a little bit better. You just burped in my face, bro. In the winter, I can get it a little bit better because I have raised his food about 1.5 feet. So it's not in like a hay thing up high, but it's slightly off the ground to the point where he doesn't need to do that exaggerated stance. So he will actually stand more normal. And then when I trim him, I try to trim him a little bit more normal, and then it gets better. But then summer rolls around, he's grazing all the time, and it goes back to how it was. Anyways, so that's kind of a work in progress. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm kind of experimenting. When farriers come out, they don't try to even it out at all, which makes it worse. So I try to minimize the high a little bit, and then, you can't make a heel grow, but my goal is to get them more normal whenever I can in between these months. But anyways, that's a different subject. So he does have leg trauma, which makes him tense up and get nervous. So you might see a little bit of that. But can you see how narrow his little chest is? It's a little tiny baby chest. It's a little tiny baby chest, okay? Now, you can see that going down, it's pretty straight. So when I know that there are pectoral issues, it's when they're really wide and their feet go together and they make like a V, okay? So this is not a normal stance. That's a normal stance, okay? So if you have a really wide horse and their chest is wide, but their feet like meet in the middle, that's probably pectoral stuff, okay? That's not their build. I want their legs coming straight out of their chest, straight out of their chest. I don't want it going at an angle. So that's one thing that you can, are you taking notes or what are you doing? That's one thing that you can look at. Okay. So his legs are pretty straight, which tells me he's got a pretty narrow chest. Okay. It is what it is. He also does not have a lot of action compared to his hind end in his front end. So his hind end's like, let's go for a ride. And his front end's like, let's take it easy. Okay, and I can maybe show you a video of that. His front end does not get out of the way very well, so he bangs the fronts. He also creates these kind of like odd movements where he's getting his back feet around the front, and you can see that when he moves too. He does like a little camel. I call it a camel canter, where he's like, I don't know where to put my feet right now. And then he figures it out and he's like, okay, I got it. But his feet can't really line up. His hind feet can't really line up with the fronts because they have way more action and way more movement than the fronts. So that's another issue. You're packed full of them, aren't you? So let's just get started and see where we can go from here. Okay, I'm going to line them up a little bit straighter so that we can check them out. Thank you, sir. Oh, see, I like when he stands kind of straight like that. So this is his high foot, that's his low foot. Sometimes when that gets really bad, they're pretty staggered. So that's when I know I really need to work on it. But that's not too bad. It is what it is. Okay, so the first thing that you can do to see if your horse has tight pectorals is feel them, okay? So I'll go over here. You can start here, start nice and easy. I'm gonna show you on a horse that kind of has some, you know, sensitivity in this area. So he's a little sensitive. So just start nice and slow. Kind of go in between those armpits. Now I can already feel that they're tight, okay? They're tight right here, right there. Okay, so what happens is that those muscles that attach to the legs and then they attach here, they go like this, they're like that. They're just pulled tight. You can feel like a band, okay? So that's what I'm feeling for. A lot of times they'll get a little sassy about you touching that area, okay? If they do, go straight to a slap because they like the slaps better in this pec area, okay? But let's just warm it up a little bit. So say hello, go in and out. See, he's handling it okay. Kind of go to the insertion points, which is going to be on the inside of this leg. Oh, why I have gloves on. It's cold out here, but I don't like to work on gloves. Okay, let me check the other side here. In and out. Just go in and out. So he's like on kind of the edge. Can you guys see that? Where he almost needs to tell me to stop. So I just back off a little bit. There, give him a break. You can also go from behind the elbow. Okay, go. Oh, we got some flinching here. So behind the elbow forward. Oh, that's where it's really at. If they start getting a little, there's a release. If they start getting too wild, put your hand on that halter. Do a little bit of work and give them a break. They get really defensive of this area. So if you're working on a horse that's really defensive, or if your horse is really defensive, do it in little tiny chunks. Do it in little tiny chunks. Start up here. Tell him you're coming down. He's flinching, he's flinching. Work, oh, it's real tight on this side. Holy schmoly. Okay, even if that's too much, just stop and hold. Okay, that's what I'm doing right now. Stop and hold. They can generally handle that, especially don't hold light, like kind of hold with a little bit of pressure. Make sure you're breathing. You can use a distraction technique. So if they really don't like somewhere, you take your other hand and you do like some slaps somewhere. I do this a lot when I'm working with legs that they're nervous about. There, it's loosening up. And just wait for it to loosen up. Okay? So I'm reaching in there and I'm cupping their little pectoral, just like that. And I just hold it and I'm pressing up at the same time. So if you lock your elbow against your body and then press up, you can get some pretty firm action there. Okay, and then if you need to, distract them with your other hand. Okay, let's check from the front here. Oh yeah, that's way better. Stay with them. Hold. He went internal there for a second. I don't know if you guys noticed that. That's all stuff I'm going to pay attention to. When you want them to breathe, make sure you take a big breath. It helps a lot. There we go. There we go. Oh, he's stretching out underneath my hand. Oh, what was it? Is that okay? There you go. Yeah, it makes you feel funny. Okay. Now sometimes it's just gonna be one pectoral. It's just gonna be one pec, okay? It's not gonna be both. On him, his right side is, this side here is tighter, okay? But both of his are tight.
He's like, you didn't clear my ears.
Okay, let's do this side again, see where we're at. It's definitely tighter coming in from the armpit direction. I'm just gonna hold. And sometimes if it's really tight, I'll hold and I'll just stand up. You see what I'm doing? By standing up, I'm kind of cupping that pectoral and bringing it up with me. Sometimes I'll bring both hands in and he says that's too much. And I'll lift and just stretch those pectorals. You go, oh, maybe it's not too bad. Oh, he says, oh. Okay, so you kind of got a little bit of an opinion from him there, but listen, look, there's a release, okay? He might need it, okay? Look at how much further he's standing apart, you guys. Look at that. Okay? So I can spend 15 to 20 minutes kind of doing this as one method to loosen the pectoral. Look at that, getting them good. To loosen those pectorals up. Okay, that's one method. So let me show you another. His herd boundness is so much better. Georgia is on the other side of that round pen. I think she's right here. Squish, Georgia. He's so much better. Okay, so another thing I can do, actually I don't know what I'm gonna find here, but let's try it. So here's a test. Big release, here we go. When you bring the leg forward, good job, buddy. See, look at how much wider he's walking. He's like literally like walking out. Like that's not a normal stance either, but he's walking out. So isn't he the cutest? Why is he so cute? Gosh, dang it. He just does this look thing. It's so funny. Okay, anyway, sorry. So the second thing I want to talk to you about is bringing the leg forward is another way to tell if that pectoral is tight. So if you have your arm and you go doo-doo-doo, okay? You see how my arm goes straight forward? It doesn't go out, it doesn't go in, it doesn't go and then stop, okay? I can swing my arm forward and backward, no problem, okay? Forward and backward, not a problem. Now, if you bring a horse's front legs forward and it goes across midline, you probably have a tight pectoral. Okay? So you should be able to bring the leg forward and back and it should be straight. Okay? If it goes, that's probably a tight pectoral. It's easy peasy, easy peasy. He's still releasing from that, you guys. So let's pick up the legs. So when you pick them up, what does the leg say? That's why I say that. What does it say? It says, I'm gonna go this way. Okay, so if it says, I'm gonna go across midline, then you have a tight pectoral. All right, so let's check out his legs and see what they say. I'll try to stay out of the way. Don't follow my body form because this is going to be for you. And look at how he's standing, you guys. So do you guys see how that's not a normal stance either? Because his legs are actually going out, but he's probably loosened up from me just messing around with those pectorals a little bit. So now he's like, oh man, look, my legs can go out. It would be interesting to see if I get the serrate. It's probably the serrate that's tight because he has tight shoulders too. If the serrate loosens up, because if the serrate's tight, it's gonna hold those scapulas really close to the body. So if I can get the scapulas to loosen up, maybe he'll like bulldog out a little bit. I don't know. Okay. Should we just take this lead rope off? Because it's more annoying than anything. Okay, so let me bring his legs forward and see what, hey, I don't like it when you push against my fingertips. Okay, so let's bring the leg forward and see what it says. Are you guys straightforward with him? Let me I'll move you just a little bit. It might be easier. Let's see if those legs come forward. Okay. Sir, I just said I don't like that. And then you just did it again. You know? Okay, that's what I thought. All right, so I'm gonna ask him for this leg. And I want it to be relaxed. Oh, okay, so it's not bad. That's not bad. Do you guys see how it's slightly going forward though? Okay. I mean, sorry, inside. It's not bad. It's not bad. Let's try this other leg. I like to tell him I'm going to do this because he has anxiety with his legs. So I don't just reach down for his legs. It's funny, one of my friends, I was riding Georgia and she goes, oh, Georgia has something on her back leg. And she like looked at it and she started walking towards Georgia like this. And Georgia was like, oh, hell no, you don't. I was like, don't look like a cougar when you're coming at my horse and I'm sitting on her, man. And she's a trainer, so she like knows better. So I was like, come on, what are you doing? But it was funny because Georgia is very broke with ground stuff. And she was like, don't touch my legs like that. Don't look at my legs like that. So with horses, I don't like to just go in hot like that. Like tell them like, hey, I'm here and I'm gonna go down that leg. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Oh, what is that? Okay, so he went forward and that leg really shot across midline. There we go. Okay. So you can see that was kind of more midline than I'd like. So what I'm gonna do to loosen it up, I'm gonna ask for this leg. Thank you. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna squeeze the pec. Beautiful. Good boy. That was really good. He actually like loosened it in my hand. You need a break. He needs a breather. You see him back up. That was funny. He's like, I need a breather. Where are you going? Don't drag it out across the mud, please. You're okay. So this horse kicks. And so I don't just put my face down anywhere. We're working on it. It's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and then sometimes it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It is what it is. Okay? So let me do the other side. This leg. Thank you. Bring it forward. Slide in. Oh yeah, that's tight. Squeeze. Jiggle. Yeah, Bubba. Good job, Bubba. Oh, he needs encouragement, Bubba. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Jiggle, 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 jiggle. Oh, good boy. Okay, so Chester's pectoral muscle is like this big. It's a baby muscle. Georgia's pectoral muscle is this big. Other horses I work on, their pectoral muscle is this big. So reach up there, see what you find. It might be small, it might be medium, and it might be large. You gotta reach up though. You gotta reach up and grab the pork loin. He has a very small pork loin. Okay, normal horses, it's about this big. It feels like a legit pork loin, and then they get a little bigger too. Are you okay? He's, oh. You know what Georgia would do in this case? Rear up. Chester is so smart. He's so smart. You're such a smart boy. Why are you so smart? You were so smart because you don't pull up, and Georgia even knows better. She does it on purpose. What a good nugget. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do that one more time on each side. If you don't have a horse that's really sensitive like he is, like I'm trying not to overload him, and you guys can see how much this is doing to him, just this tiny amount of work. So I'm taking it easy on him. If you have like a horse that doesn't have a ton of anxiety with this, then you're gonna work on it a lot faster, okay? So you guys can go to videos of me working on Georgia, and I blast through it. I'm a lot more firmer. I move faster, okay? So you're gonna work on the horse in front of you. All right. Let's do each side again. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna teach you something else, actually. There's another method. There's another method. Look, he's still releasing from that last one. Okay, this one, so guys, if the pectoral is tight this way, which way do you need to stretch it if you're going to stretch it? That way. Same with when your pectoral's tight. Reach up and grab your little pectoral, your little tiny pork chop or little pork loin. Okay, so if you want to stretch it and use that method, you can do that. If your horse is way too sensitive, you can do this. Take their leg and ask them to move it to the side. So let me do that with you. Let's see what you think about that. Okay. Thank you. So I'm going to take the knee, and I'm going to bring it this way. Yeah, what a winner. Good boy. Good job. That was good. That was good. Now I can feel how tight that is. Good job, Bubba. I'll take it. Thank you, sir. And you can add a little jiggle if that helps. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Always from the knee, never from the ankle. Yep. Oh, that's all tension, honey. That's all tension. Oh, my goodness. Oh, he got nervous. So I'm going to push him a little bit. Don't be such a crybaby. Come on, baby. You can do it. There you go. What a winner. What a winner. Yeah. So I don't want to cater to all his emotions, but I also don't want to send him off the edge. Do you know what I mean? But he's got to get better at this. I can't cater to all these emotions that he always has, or that fear around me holding onto his legs is not going to go away. So he doesn't like me on this side as much, so he pushes his little nose in me. All right, let's take this leg. Let's go sideways with it. Yeah, that's good. Good job, Bubba. Yeah. Oh, he relaxed into that. Did you guys see that? Oh, jiggle, jiggle. Oh, what a good boy. He put me on the other side. You see that? I need to work on that too. Add it to the list. Add it to the list. Oh, look at his stance, you guys. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Good job, Chester. McChester pants. There's a yawn. This halter is a little bit too small for him when he tries to yawn fully. But he also has a little tiny Arab face, and I have full-size horses because I'm a full-size woman. So I don't have tack that fits him, so I kind of use what my friends and loving clients give me for their from their tiny horses. They give me their stuff because they're generous. I was gonna buy him his own halter the other day, and I was like, what type of halter did you want? He didn't answer me, so I said, all right. Look at that. Look at that stance. That's fantastic. So I need to do this way more with him, way more. Add it to the list. Georgia! Georgia Peach! The sheep are over there like, what? Look at his stance, you guys. That's awesome. Hold on. Don't move, buddy. Look at that stance now. Now that's not, look, he's over stancing, right? He's not that wide, but how nice is that he's standing like that now? You want me to let you go? Okay. That was such a great demonstration there, Bubba. So I hope you have some ideas about, I don't like that. No, I'd like a nicer eye than that. That's better. Thank you. I hope you have some ideas now on how to work with those tight pectorals. Look at Georgia just stare from a distance. Georgia, come in here and I'll check your pectorals. She's like, no, they're good. So I hope you have some ideas. There's 3 ways. Rub them. Okay. Squeeze them. This is the most effective. Oh, and when you're squeezing them, if you feel something that feels like a grape, that's a knot. You have to really get up in there though, and you have to squeeze that grape until it dies. You just have to keep squeezing it and holding until it's gone, and then you have to rub it, and then you have to check your work. If you have any questions, let me know. Talk to you guys later. Bye, Chester. What a winner. Oh, I didn't put his blanket on. No. All right, I gotta go get him, put his little rain sheet on. He'll freeze a little tiny tush off. Okay, bye, guys.